Loving yourself is not indulgence, it is discipline. You have heard love yourself 1,000 times, but no one really tells you what loving yourself actually means. It is not buying more new clothes. It is not booking a trip to heal. It is not abandoning everything and telling yourself, I am taking care of myself. Real self-love is discipline. It is doing the right thing when no one is watching. It is sitting down to work when your mind wants to give up. It is keeping promises to yourself, even when no one knows you are breaking them. Seneca said that the one who has self-control is the strongest. You can give yourself the whole world, but without discipline, you will still feel empty. Discipline is not punishment. It is the highest expression of love you can give to yourself. The weak choose comfort. The strong choose discipline. Comfort gives you 5 minutes of ease. Discipline gives you strength for a lifetime. In the morning, you have two choices: stay in bed and say, I deserve to rest, or stand up and say, I deserve a better life. The difference between the many and the few is in that exact moment, not when they talk, but when they act. Act now. When the alarm rings, get up immediately. No hesitation, no negotiation. Marcus Aurelius wrote that, before you conquer the world, conquer yourself. Drop this now. I will start strong. You have felt tired of proving your worth. You talk about your plans, you show off your achievements, and when no one really cares, you feel empty. It is not because you are weak, it is because you are begging for love from the world instead of giving that love to yourself. The Stoics do not chase validation, they create it through quiet action. You do not need to say, I am trying, just let your results speak. Act now. Today, do one good thing and do not tell anyone about it. Epictetus taught, do not talk about your philosophy, live it. Drop this now. I act in silence. There are days when you feel exhausted, everything feels heavy, and you tell yourself, I need a break. Rest is necessary, but complaining is a choice. Instead of asking, why is life so hard? Ask, can I become stronger because of this? Stoics do not run away from pain. They train in the middle of pain, the way iron is forged in fire. Act now. When you feel weak, write down 3 difficult things you have already overcome. Look at them and remind yourself, you survived that. Epictetus said that difficulties reveal who we are. Drop this now. I choose to master myself. You look around and see others moving ahead. You feel slow, behind, not good enough. Stoics do not compare themselves to others. They measure themselves against who they were yesterday. You do not need to be faster than anyone. You just need to be more honest with yourself. Marcus Aurelius wrote that our happiness depends on the quality of our thoughts. Act now. Before you sleep, write one thing you did better
than yesterday. No matter how small, acknowledge it. Drop this now. The world today is noisy. Everyone is talking, posting, expressing. The louder it gets, the more disconnected you become from yourself. Stoics choose silence, not because they are afraid to speak, but because they know true strength comes from inner stillness. You do not have to react to everything. You do not have to prove anything. Learn to observe before you respond. Act now. Every day, spend 10 minutes with no phone, no music, just breathing and observing. Drop this now. You do not need more motivational words. You need a rebirth ritual. From today, you are no longer the one desperately seeking love. You are the one who creates it through discipline, action, and self-respect. When you keep your promises to yourself, you do not just love yourself. You become the person you have always admired. Marcus Aurelius said that you should live in such a way that your words become unnecessary. Drop this now. If these words wake you up, do not let that feeling fade. Like this video if you are ready to love yourself through discipline. Comment your affirmation. Subscribe to Stoic Rise, where every day is a ritual of inner training. Drop this now. When science and philosophy meet in one simple truth, loving yourself is action, not emotion. In this modern age, everyone talks about self-love, but most people stop at words. They say love yourself, but they wake up with the phone in their hand, feeding their mind with chaos from the very first minute. They say respect yourself,
but they let others cross their boundaries, and they say, be happy, but they refuse to take responsibility for their own choices. Marcus Aurelius wrote that our soul is shaped by what we repeatedly think about. If you constantly think about fear, you become weaker. If you think about discipline, you become steady. If you think about respect, you begin to act like someone worthy of respect. Loving yourself begins with shaping your thoughts, and thoughts only become real when they are forged by action. Today, people confuse self-love with self-indulgence. Self-love builds you. Self-indulgence destroys you. One person wakes up and chooses comfort, believing that they are being kind to themselves. But they are actually hurting their own future. Another person wakes up, takes a deep breath, steps into the cold morning, trains, works, faces difficulty. They look strict from the outside, but inside is the deepest love they have for themselves. Modern science has shown that discipline is not self-oppression. When you keep promises to yourself, your brain releases dopamine in a healthy way. Every time you overcome procrastination, you create a natural reward chain that makes your body feel more confident and grounded. You do not need motivational speeches because your actions have already become the reward. Loving yourself in the Stoic way is standing in front of the mirror and telling yourself the truth. Not the sweet truth, but the necessary truth. The truth that you are delaying, that you have gone soft, that you have betrayed your own commitments, and at the same time, the truth that you can change. Every day, every decision, every second you resist your own weakness is a profound act of self-love. Look at the person who trains consistently, who works with a plan, who keeps discipline in the smallest habits. They do not need to shout about themselves, that they do not need to post online that they are growing. Their stability is the evidence. They do not chase emotions. They generate emotion from action. They do not chase motivation. They build systems, and they understand that self-love is the foundation of all achievement. Stoics do not deny emotions. They simply do not let emotions rule them. When they are angry, they do not explode. When they are sad, they do not complain. They observe, they analyze, they learn to transform. Seneca said that anger is a brief madness. That is why Stoics practice pausing before reacting. That pause is the highest form of respect for themselves. In today's loud society, silence is a rare power. People rush to share, argue, comment, but Stoics know that inner stillness is the foundation of confidence. When you are silent, you hear your own reason. When you do not react immediately, you take back control. And when you act without needing recognition, you become truly free. Neuroscience also confirms that stillness helps the brain recover. When you're not drowning in information, your prefrontal cortex functions better. That is the part responsible for logic, self-control, and decision-making. When you spend a few minutes each day just sitting in quiet, you are training your mind to become sharper. That is not a waste of time. That is the rebuilding of your energy. Loving yourself in the Stoic spirit is also about knowing your limits. You cannot love yourself if you let everyone step over your boundaries. When you say no to what harms your mind, you are saying yes to yourself. When you step away from people who drain you, you are choosing to protect your soul. Epictetus advised never to hand over your soul to those who are unworthy. Self-love is not unlimited openness. It is intentional selectiveness. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his journal that happiness comes when a person lives in harmony with reason. That means the more you understand yourself, the less the world can control you. When you know what makes you stronger and what makes you weaker, you begin to love yourself with wisdom instead of impulse. You stop chasing perfection and start chasing truth. Every morning, instead of asking, "What do others think of me today?" ask, "What do I think of myself today?" Every night, instead of asking, "Why is life unfair?" ask, "Did I live with discipline today?" When you can answer those two questions honestly, you have reached a different level of self-love. Stoics see every day as a battlefield, not to fight other people, but to fight their own weakness. They are not afraid of being tired. They are afraid of living without meaning. They do not chase short-term pleasures. They seek long-term tranquility, and they understand that only those who control themselves are truly free. Today, many people search for love outside and forget that the root of every connection is the relationship with oneself. When you respect yourself, you naturally choose those who respect you. When you are disciplined, you naturally attract those who share that value. When you are calm, you radiate an energy that makes others feel safe. Look back at your life. How many times have you gone against your own values just to be liked? How many times have you said, "It is fine," while you were breaking inside? Stoics do not pretend to be strong. They train to become strong for real. They do not need pity. They need challenges. Stoic self-love is not soft words. It is a strict, quiet, and steady process. It is looking into the mirror every morning and seeing someone trustworthy, someone who keeps promises, someone who knows when to pause, when to move forward, and when to stay silent while the world is loud. And that is the foundation of the 7 Stoic habits you are about to discover. 7 habits to build inner strength, to turn discipline into love, and to become the confident, calm, unshakable version of yourself. Habit 1. Begin your day with a small victory. Morning is the beginning of everything. The way you start your day reflects the way you live your life. Stoics understand that the most important moment of the day is not when the sun rises, but when your mind wakes up. Think about this morning. What did you do when the alarm rang? Did you get up, or did you lie there bargaining with yourself for 5 more minutes? Those 5 minutes seem small, but they are the line between the person who controls their life and the person controlled by their emotions. Those 5 minutes can decide the rhythm of your day and slowly the direction of your life. Epictetus said that nothing great is born from weakness. If you cannot win against your first laziness of the day, it will be difficult to win bigger battles in life. Every morning you stay in bed, you send a quiet message to your mind that comfort is more important than discipline. Once your mind believes that, it will drag you down into everything else. The small victory in the morning is not a simple act, it is a declaration. When you get up on time, when you complete your morning ritual, even when you are tired, you are saying to the world, "I am the one who controls myself." Everything starts from there. Marcus Aurelius wrote that when you wake up, remember that you were born to act, to work, to contribute to others, not to stay under the blanket. Everyone has a duty, and so do you. You were not born to run away from life. You were born to stand up and live fully in it. Your morning does not need to be dramatic. It just needs to be intentional. So you do not need to wake up and conquer the entire world immediately. You just need to conquer yourself. Conquer sleep, conquer delay, conquer fatigue. Every time you do that, you are reprogramming your brain to believe that you are in control. That is the deepest kind of confidence, the kind that nothing outside can give you. Neuroscience has shown that completing just one deliberate action early in the day causes your brain to release dopamine, your natural motivation chemical. You do not need inspiration from outside. When you complete even the smallest task, your brain is already programmed to want to do more. A small victory creates a chain reaction. It helps you work better, and it helps you love yourself more because you see yourself moving forward, even if it is one step at a time. Imagine 2 people waking up. One grabs the phone, scrolls social media, sees people who are richer, fitter, more successful. Their mind starts the day in comparison and insecurity. The other person gets up, washes their face with cold water, breathes deeply, feels their heartbeat, steps outside to see the first light of the day. One starts with chaos, the other starts with control. One lives on reflex, the other lives by intention. After a few months, their lives separate like 2 lines heading in opposite directions. The morning habit is a ritual. Stoics see every morning as a test of will. They do not need reminders. They do not need hype. They need reason. They wake up on time, write down their goals, train their body, and step into the day like a warrior entering the arena, not loud, not frantic, but fully aware and disciplined. Try changing your morning ritual. Do not jump up and grab your phone. Take 3 deep breaths. Feel your body. Tell yourself one simple sentence: today I am in control of myself. Then do one small specific action. Fold your blanket, drink a glass of cold water, write down one thing you know you must do. When you begin with a disciplined act, the rest of your day will follow that order. Epictetus said that it is not events that exhaust us, but how we react to them. When you start your day with intention, you are choosing a rational response. Even if something bad happens, you already have a stronger base to face it because you have already won over yourself in the very first moment. Stoics do not need a perfect morning. They need an intentional one. They do not chase feelings. They train their feelings. When you wake up 5 minutes earlier, when you step out of bed into the cold, you are building a stronger version of yourself. Someone who understands that freedom does not come from doing whatever you like, but from doing what is right. When you start your day with a small victory, you are not just mastering your morning, you are laying the foundation for your life. A person who can control themselves in the smallest moment can control themselves in the longest journey. Every big change begins from one simple act: standing up when you do not feel like it. Act now. Set your alarm 5 minutes earlier. When it rings, do not think, do not negotiate, just get up, breathe deeply, step into the light. That is the moment you declare, I am alive, I am in control, I am loving myself. Seneca wrote that whoever masters the morning masters the day, and whoever masters each day masters their life. Drop this now. Habit 2. Write down 3 things you control today. Most of human suffering does not come from the outside world. It comes from trying to control what is beyond our reach. You worry about what others think of you, about whether people like you, about whether everything will go according to plan, and then you burn out fighting a battle you can never win. Epictetus said, there are 2 kinds of things in life, the things we can control and the things we cannot. Our happiness depends on clearly separating the 2, but most people do not live that way. They pour their energy into trying to change other people, trying to change outcomes, trying to change what cannot be changed. They forget that the only thing they truly own is themselves. Every day when you wake up, the world is already full of things outside your control. The weather, the words of others, results at work, fairness, luck, timing, none of that belongs to you. But there are 3 things that always stay in your hands: your actions, your reactions, and your attitude. Those 3 form the boundary of your freedom. Marcus Aurelius wrote that if you are upset about something, it is because you have chosen to let it upset you. It is not the world that hurts us, it is our permission that allows it to. Once you understand that principle, you begin to reclaim control over your mind. No one can truly touch you unless you open the door. No event can destroy you unless you surrender to it. The Stoics train this every single day. They do not just read philosophy, they turn it into concrete practice. Each morning, they write down 3 things they can control today. It seems small, but it is one of the most powerful exercises for the mind. When you write, you force yourself to face reality. You clearly separate what is yours and what is not. You stop living as a victim of the world and start living as a creator. Imagine someone about to enter a busy, stressful day. Their schedule is packed, their coworkers are difficult, the weather is bad, their mood is heavy. It would be easy to let that day destroy their spirit, but instead of reacting on autopilot, they pause, open their notebook, and write down 3 things they can control today. First, I can control the way I speak. Second, I can control the effort I put in. Third, I can control my calm. Those 3 lines are enough to bring their power back. Another person steps into the exact same kind of day, but without any preparation. They let everything control their emotions, from traffic jams to one harsh comment. At the end of the day, they feel exhausted, angry, and wronged. 2 people, 1 world. The only difference, one chose control, the other chose surrender. When you write down what you can control, you are reprogramming your brain. You shift your focus from worrying to acting. The mind cannot fully fixate on 2 directions at once. When you focus on action, fear begins to fade. When you focus on what is in your hands, you stop being dragged around by what is out of reach. Seneca said that a wise person does not stake their peace of mind on what lies beyond their will. They do not trade inner calm for things they cannot command, because they know real strength lives in how they respond. A person can be insulted, rejected, or lose something important, yet remain steady, because their mind is under their own governance. Modern psychology calls this the circle of control. Those who can clearly distinguish what they control tend to have higher levels of happiness, more stable energy, and stronger resilience. When you write 3 things each morning, you shrink your circle of anxiety and expand your circle of agency.
You stop chasing. You start leading. This habit also protects you from one of the most dangerous enemies of our time, helplessness. Many people feel as if their life is out of their hands, but when you consistently act within your circle of control, you begin to see real impact. You cannot change the entire world, but you can change yourself. And when you change yourself, your world begins to change with you. Start tomorrow morning. When you wake up, do not open social media. Take a sheet of paper and write down 3 things you control today. For example, I control how I respond to criticism. I control whether I complete this assignment. I control my attitude when I speak to others. After writing, read those 3 lines again. Feel the calm strength rising. You have just set the tone for your entire day with a few simple words. Marcus Aurelius said that the mind is built to rise above anything it cannot control. That is not just a thought, it is a compass. When you begin your day with clarity, you move through challenges with composure. No more impulsive reactions, no more being swept away by every emotional wave. You become quieter inside but stronger. Stoics do not wait for the world to change in order to be at peace. They choose peace first and then step into the world. That is the difference. You may not control outcomes, but you always control how you play the game. You may not control who loves you, but you always control how you love yourself. Act right now. Write down 3 things you can control today. Write clearly, write slowly, write firmly. Read them again and remind yourself, this is the boundary of my power. When you repeat this every day, your mind sharpens, your emotions stabilize, your energy locks in. Each time you write, you take back a piece of your freedom. Epictetus reminded us, if you want peace, let go of what is not yours. From there, you discover something profound. Peace is not a reward. It is a decision. Drop this now. Habit 3, speak less, do more. We live in an age where everyone wants to be heard, but very few truly want to act. Social media turns people into performers. Anyone can talk about goals, passion, discipline, but very few actually keep promises to themselves. The Stoics understand that power does not live in words, it lives in quiet actions repeated every day. Epictetus taught, do not talk about your philosophy, live it. That single line is enough to wake anyone hiding behind promises and unstarted plans. When you talk too much, you drain the energy needed for action. Your brain starts to feel as if something has already been done, when in reality you only spoke about it. The more you talk, the less you move. Modern people confuse sharing with doing. They say they will change, they will start training, they will start a business, they will write a book, they will learn a new skill. But every time they say it out loud, they receive a small hit of dopamine from others' reactions, a quick satisfaction as if they have already achieved something, and then they stop. The urge to begin fades. Marcus Aurelius reminded us that freedom comes when you no longer need validation from others. When you stop talking about what you're going to do and quietly do it, you build a form of strength the world cannot see at first, but will eventually have to respect. Silent action does not need applause, yet it leaves the longest echo. Stoics do not need to say they're disciplined. They show it in every choice. When they say they will wake up early, they wake up early. When they say they will give their best, they go all the way. They do not need to explain their effort because the truth appears in their results. They do not need to announce their struggle because their consistency speaks for them. Look at those who are truly successful and at peace. They are not loud, not because they are cold, but because they are focused. They are not busy declaring what they will do. They are busy doing it. Every action is a sentence without words. Every discipline is a declaration of self-worth. Speaking less does not mean absolute silence. It means you choose your words carefully. You speak when it matters. You speak when your words are tied to action. When you speak less, each word carries weight. When you do more, each step builds strength. Stoics know that value is not in promises, it is in consistency. Look at yourself honestly. How many times have you said you would change, but the next day you repeated the same patterns? How many times have you said you would focus, but you allowed yourself to drown in your phone? How many times have you said you want freedom, but you could not walk away from the habits that make you weaker? These words do not make you a bad person, but without action, they become a burden. Every promise you break to yourself erodes your trust in yourself. Seneca said that words are only breath, action is proof. Every day you speak less and do more,
is a day you rebuild your self-trust. That trust does not come from others. It comes from the feeling that you are living in alignment with what you believe. Behavioral science has confirmed that when you keep promises to yourself, your brain releases endorphins, creating a sense of dignity and calm. When you talk too much and do too little, your brain registers the opposite. You begin to doubt yourself, and that doubt becomes a habit. Speaking less and doing more is how you repair the link between your will and your actions. Stoics treat silence as a weapon. They know energy cannot fully serve both endless talking and deep doing. When you speak less, you store power. When you hold silence, you create space for willpower to grow. When you act in quiet, your results become the only announcement you need. Try a simple experiment. For the next 7 days, do not tell anyone about your plans. Write them down and execute in silence. No posting, no boasting, no explaining. Just work. After a week, something strange happens. Your energy is more focused, the noise in your head gets softer, results begin to appear. That is when you start to understand the strength of silence. Epictetus said you should not argue with foolish people, because those watching from outside may not know who is who. Stoics do not waste energy proving themselves with words. They prove themselves with the way they live. When the world is noisy, your silence becomes a statement. When others show off, your consistency becomes your victory. Remember, action does not need a microphone, but the world always hears it. When you act, you send a signal to yourself, I am trustworthy. And when you trust yourself, you no longer depend on anyone else's approval. Marcus Aurelius wrote that a human being's job is to do what a human being must do. Do not let words replace work. Do not let planning replace doing. Do not let emotion replace commitment. Every small task you complete in silence becomes another layer of armor for your confidence. Act right now. Choose one thing you have talked about for too long without doing. Stop talking. Stop overthinking. Begin. Even the smallest first step is still a real step. When you complete it without needing to tell anyone, you will feel a surge of power from within. That is the energy of truth, of self-respect, of discipline. Epictetus taught, do not let your mouth betray what your heart is trying to build. Stay quiet, do the work, let your results speak. Live this way, and you no longer need to prove anything because you yourself become the proof. Habit 4, practice forgiving yourself. No one can go far while still chaining themselves to old mistakes. Many people are not weak because they lack ability, but because they live trapped inside cycles of regret and self-blame. They replay their failures in their mind every day as if sentencing themselves over and over. The Stoics understand that no one can live freely while still a prisoner of the past. Forgiving yourself is not avoiding responsibility. It is one of the bravest acts of a mature soul. Forgiveness means looking directly at your mistake, admitting it, learning from it, then standing up and moving forward. You cannot change what has already happened, but you can always change how you live afterward. Seneca said that no one can begin a new life if they keep staring backward. When you spend too much time torturing yourself, you drain the power of the present. The past should be a place you visit to learn, not a place where you live. Marcus Aurelius also wrote that when you do wrong, do not let shame drag you down. Use that same energy to correct yourself. Stoics do not see mistakes as permanent stains, but as tools for training the self. Every mistake is a forge in fire. Every scar is a mark of growth. Some people say they want to change, but deep down, they do not believe they deserve it. They live as if they must pay forever. They work not from a desire to grow, but from a hunger to prove that they are no longer who they were. The truth is, no one needs you to prove anything. What truly matters is that you take the lesson and do not repeat the same damage. Epictetus said that what matters is not what happened, but how you respond. The past has no power unless you hand it that power. Forgiving yourself is how you take it back. Stoics practice forgiveness like a daily ritual. At night, they review the day, acknowledging both their wins and their mistakes. They do not look away. They write down what they did wrong, write down the lesson, and end with one specific action to do better tomorrow. This ritual separates them from destructive guilt and turns mistakes into training. Modern science confirms that when you write down your mistakes and the lessons learned, your brain processes those memories differently. And instead of locking them in as pure guilt, it stores them as experience. The pain softens. The drive to act grows. In this sense, forgiving yourself is not sentimental. It is a mental skill. You cannot change the past, but you can give it meaning. Your mistakes can become a burden, or they can become steps. The Stoics choose steps. They do not see themselves as victims of their mistakes, but as students of life. They know maturity does not come from avoiding every error, but from correcting the ones you make. Seneca said that mistakes are inevitable, but repeating them is foolish. When you forgive yourself, you are telling your mind, this lesson has been learned. Now it is time to move on. Guilt only has value if it leads you to better action. If it only keeps you stuck, it has become a chain. For Stoics, forgiveness is the strength of reason. They do not judge themselves only through emotion. They judge through truth. If they can fix something, they fix it. If they cannot, they accept it and carry the wisdom forward. No whining, no self-torture, no clinging. They understand that a mind overloaded with regret cannot be fully present. Give yourself 10 minutes each night for a forgiveness ritual. Sit down and write one thing that still makes you feel heavy. Face it without excuses. Then write the lesson you have taken from it. Then write one concrete action you will do differently tomorrow. It is a small practice, but repeated over time, it rewires your thinking. Each mistake is consciously closed. Each part of you is released from unnecessary punishment. Marcus Aurelius said that no matter how bad yesterday was, today is still a chance to live more correctly. Simple words, immense power. Every day is a new beginning, if you allow it. Forgiveness is the door to that beginning. Stoics know that if you cannot forgive yourself, you will never truly love yourself. Real love cannot live in the same space as self-hatred. Forgiveness does not make you softer, it makes you stronger. The weak punish themselves endlessly. The strong correct themselves, then move on. Forgiveness is your declaration that you have finished paying for the past through suffering and will now pay through growth. You are no longer yesterday's version of you. You are the one who is learning, advancing, and taking ownership. Leave a comment. I forgive myself and move forward. Habit 5. The habit. Your body is the temple where your soul lives. It is not something you can neglect, not a tool to use until it breaks, and not a sacrifice for laziness or constant stress. The Stoics understand that a strong mind cannot live inside a weak body. They see caring for the body not only as health, but as ethics, as duty, as a visible form of self-respect. Seneca said that the soul cannot keep its peace when confined in a sick and sluggish body. That is not just health advice, it is a philosophy. Your body is the instrument that allows you to act, to practice discipline, to fulfill your purpose. If that instrument is weak, even the greatest intentions become powerless. Look at how many people today treat their bodies. They stay up late every night and call it hard work. They eat without awareness and blame their schedule. They sit for hours in front of a screen, forgetting that the body was built to move, not to freeze. When exhaustion comes, they reach for pills, coffee, and artificial energy to keep repeating the same destructive loop. Stoics see it differently. They understand that every time they ignore their body, they betray the most valuable tool nature has given them. They know that if they want to train the mind, they must first train the body. Each morning they move, train, or stretch as a ritual. Not because they enjoy pain, but because they understand that disciplined discomfort creates pride, while easy comfort creates regret. Marcus Aurelius wrote that caring for the body is part of a human being's duty, not for showing off, but to keep the mind clear and ready. He did not chase a perfect physique, he chased readiness. A strong body is not just for display, it exists to endure, to act, to do good. Stoics do not view physical training as an optional hobby, but as an obligation to themselves. They do not wait for motivation. They have a reason. That reason is respect. They train not to look better for others, but to become stronger in their own eyes. Every drop of sweat is a reminder. I am alive. I am training. I am keeping my promise to this body. Modern science has confirmed what Stoics understood 2,000 years ago. When you move your body, it releases endorphins and serotonin, which calm the mind and elevate mood. The stronger and more active the body, the clearer the mind. Those who rarely move are more vulnerable to anxiety, fatigue, and emotional swings, not because they are broken, but because they are disconnected from themselves. Physical discipline is not only about workouts, it is also how you eat, how you rest, how you treat each breath. The Stoics eat to sustain strength, not to soothe emotions. They sleep to recover, not to escape life. They listen to their body without being ruled by its cravings. They know when to pause, when to push, and when to endure. Look honestly at your day. How many times have you felt tired, your back aching, your head heavy, yet you forced yourself to sit longer in front of a screen? How many nights have you stayed up one more hour only to forget half of what you did in the morning? How many times have you said you have no time to exercise while spending hours scrolling through your feed? Each time, you trade your future for temporary comfort. Stoics will not tell you that you must become an athlete. They simply ask you to respect yourself enough to move every day. Set aside at least 30 minutes to move your body, whether it is walking, running, breathing exercises, or lifting weights. It does not need to be perfect. It needs to be consistent. Day by day, your body changes. Day by day, your mind follows. When you train your body, you are training your spirit. Every extra step, every extra repetition, every deeper breath teaches your mind that limits are negotiable. Stoics care less about records and more about reliability. Consistency is the purest expression of strength. Your body is not just something you own, it is your companion. If you want a powerful soul, give it a worthy temple. Do not let that temple collapse from laziness or neglect. Every time you choose the couch instead of movement, ask yourself, am I building myself up or breaking myself down? Act right now. Move for 30 minutes. If you truly cannot, stand up and walk for 5. Breathe deeply, stretch, feel your lungs fill and empty. Your body has been waiting for you to come back. Every movement is a thank you. Every drop of sweat is proof that you are still here. Seneca said that weakness of the body leads to weakness of the soul. Stoics train not to burn out, but to become durable. When your body is strong, your mind rests easier. When your body is healthy, you can face more storms without breaking. When you respect your body, you are respecting your life. Leave a comment. I respect my body as a temple. Habit 6, spend 15 minutes in silence every day. Today's world is louder than it has ever been. Notification sounds, messages, calls, city noise, social media, news, advertisements, thousands of streams of information pouring into your mind every hour. You think you are living, but you are mostly just reacting. Your mind has no empty space left to think, no room to hear your own voice. The Stoics understand that only in silence does the soul truly speak. Seneca wrote that the mind is like the surface of water. When it is disturbed, it cannot reflect anything clearly. Only when the water is still does the image become sharp. Human beings are the same. When your mind is constantly noisy, you cannot see your true nature. When you are still, you begin to understand yourself, your emotions, and what you truly want. In that moment, you become free. Modern people are afraid of silence. They are afraid of being alone with their thoughts. They turn on music when they walk, play videos when they eat, scroll on their phones before they sleep. They do not know how to simply be with themselves. The Stoics treat this as a required ritual. Every day they spend at least 15 minutes sitting in silence. No talking, no listening, no doing. They are not running away from the world. They are returning to themselves. Marcus Aurelius said that no one can find peace if they do not know how to be alone. Silence is not loneliness. It is a state of strength. When you are still, you rule your reactions. When you are still, you can hear reason beneath the noise of emotion. When you are still, you see what truly matters and what is only illusion. Science has confirmed this. When a person sits in quiet, the brain shifts into alpha wave states, the state of balance and creativity. In alpha, the nervous system recovers, stress decreases, focus increases. Those who maintain a daily practice of silence tend to regulate emotions better, work more effectively, and are less likely to fall into deep mental crises. Silence is medicine for the mind. Epictetus taught that before you speak, pause and ask yourself, is this necessary? Is it true? Does it help? If not, remain silent. This is the foundation of mental discipline. When you learn to be quiet, you are no longer driven by impulse. You do not speak just to react. You speak when your reason is ready. Silence is the ground beneath every wise action. Think about the times you spoke in anger. You felt powerful for 1 minute, then regretted it for an entire day. In that moment, you spoke to win, not to understand.
Stoics do not let emotion control their words. They choose silence so they can observe, listen, and analyze. They are not afraid of being misunderstood for a moment because they know truth will reveal
itself over time. Silence is not only sitting still, it is mastering your inner energy. When you're quiet, you're not killing your thoughts. You're refusing to be dragged around by them. You watch your emotions the way you watch clouds pass. You realize you are not your anger, not your fear, not the noise in your head. You are the one who observes. Once you see this, you become stronger than anyone who is shouting. Marcus Aurelius wrote that when the world shakes your patience, retreat inside yourself where your mind is still calm. That inner place is untouchable. Each time you return there, you strengthen an invisible fortress where you can rest in the middle of life's battlefield. Stoics do not search for peace outside. They carry peace inside. Stoics see silence as part of discipline, not as escape. They can stand in a crowd and remain still inside, and they can be insulted and remain composed. They can hear chaos and still see the path clearly. They train themselves to stand steady in the storm, not by running away, but by understanding that the storm is just part of nature and not worth their panic. To practice this habit, you do not need a special place. You only need 15 minutes a day. Turn off your phone, turn off the music, sit anywhere, place your feet on the ground. Breathe deeply, close your eyes, simply observe your breath. Do not try to force thoughts. Do not try to erase them. Let everything pass. At first, it will be difficult. After a few days, something strange will happen. You will start to see more clearly, hear more clearly, and understand more deeply. Silence does not steal your time. It gives your time back to you in a wiser form. The busiest person is the one who cannot find even 5 minutes of stillness, because they have already lost control of themselves. The Stoics know that if you cannot sit still, you cannot act correctly. Every real strength begins with the ability to pause. Seneca said that the one who cannot be alone can never be free. If you cannot bear your own silence, you will always need noise to hide from your fear. Silence is a test of courage. It is the moment you stand face to face with your own mind without running away. Treat 15 minutes of silence each day as a non-negotiable ritual. Do not see it as luxury, see it as duty. In a world that grows louder every day, silence has become the privilege of the strong. When you are still, you see direction. When you are still, you stop following the crowd. When you are still, you become a stoic warrior. No need for noise to feel important, only calm to stay in control. Leave a comment. I master the silence within me. Habit 7, choose what is right, not what is easy. Every morning when you wake up, life places two roads in front of you. One is smooth, comfortable, full of excuses and quick pleasures. The other is rough, demanding consistency, sacrifice, and discipline. Most people choose the easy road. They say they will change tomorrow. They say they will get serious when they have time. They say they will commit when everything feels right. But tomorrow never comes. The Stoics understand that the right path is rarely the easy one, but it is the only one that leads to real freedom. Seneca wrote that the road to greatness always passes through hardship. No one becomes strong through comfort. Muscles grow under pressure. Willpower grows under challenge. Life will always present a choice between easy and right. Every time you choose right over easy, you carve another line into your character. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself not to run from difficulty, because in difficulty we meet our true nature. He did not pray for lighter burdens. He prayed for a stronger back. Stoics do not wait for the world to become gentle. They sharpen themselves to face it. They understand that challenge is not an enemy, but a strict teacher that forces growth. In our age, people are surrounded by convenience. Everything is designed to be faster, softer, more comfortable. With a single tap, you can get food, entertainment, and a hit of satisfaction. But along with that comfort comes a weakening of will. When everything is easy, effort disappears. When effort disappears, inner strength decays. Stoics choose the opposite. They choose what is right even when it is hard. Epictetus said that human beings are not forged in comfort but in training. If you only act when you feel inspired, you will never cross your real limits. If you only move when you feel good, you will always be a servant to your moods. Discipline is doing what needs to be done whether you feel like it or not. That is what separates achievers from dreamers. Think of the last time you ran away from something important. You knew you should do it, but you delayed. In that moment, you did not just postpone a task. You postponed a stronger version of yourself. Stoics understand that every choice is a vote for the person you are becoming. Each time you choose easy, you vote for weakness. Each time you choose right, you vote for strength. And Seneca wrote that no wind is favorable to a ship without direction. The easy road usually has no clear destination. It lets you drift. The right road is defined even when it is hard. It forces you to think, to take responsibility, to face your limits. That is why it makes you grow. The Stoics do not chase comfort. They chase clarity. When faced with a choice, they do not ask, what makes me feel good? And they ask, what is in line with my principles? Once they know the answer, they act. Not waiting for the right mood, this simple way of living is the foundation of inner power. Modern psychology calls this the principle of delayed gratification. Those who can choose what is right over what is easy tend to have greater long-term happiness. They control their behavior, have clearer goals, and are less trapped by impulse. Those who constantly choose short-term comfort often fall into cycles of exhaustion and regret. The Stoics knew this long ago. They understood that today's ease is often the root of tomorrow's suffering. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself that when he felt tired, he should remember that he was not born to lie in bed forever, but to act. No one is born for a life of permanent softness. We are born to overcome, to train, to become stronger day by day. If life feels too easy, it usually means you are living below your potential. When you choose what is right instead of what is easy, you send a message to your mind that you can be trusted. Once your mind trusts you, you become very hard to break. That trust cannot be built by words. It is built by actions. Every hard thing you complete, even a small one, is another brick in that inner faith. Look around you. Most failures do not come from a lack of opportunity. They come from a lack of consistency. People choose shortcuts, choose comfort, choose quick relief. Every time they choose easy, they become a little weaker. Stoics refuse that path. They are willing to step into difficulty because they know where there is pain, there is growth. Try a simple exercise. Today, choose one thing you usually avoid: waking up earlier, training your body, studying, finishing that task you keep delaying. Do it without waiting for a feeling. When you finish, notice the quiet pride rising inside you. That is the real reward. No one else may see it, but you know you have won against yourself. Epictetus said that people do not become strong by wishing for an easier life, but by training for a tougher one. Let that guide you. Every time you feel like escaping, ask yourself, is this the easy thing or the right thing? If it is right, do it now. Stoics believe that true freedom is not doing whatever you like. True freedom is the ability to do what is right, even when you do not feel like it. When you reach that point, you are no longer controlled by moods or circumstances. You have become the one at the wheel. That is the summit of inner strength. Life will never pause and wait for you to be ready. Opportunities do not arrive when you're comfortable. They appear while you are in motion. If you only act when everything feels perfect, you will wait forever. Stoics move even when conditions are not ideal, because they know perfection is born from action, not from waiting. Seneca said that no one becomes wise by accident, but by choosing correctly again and again. Every day you have many chances to choose right, to stay quiet instead of lashing out, to work instead of scrolling, to speak truth instead of pleasing everyone. Each small choice is a repetition that strengthens your will. Act right now. Choose one thing that you know is right but have been avoiding. Do it today. No promises, no waiting, no excuses. Let your action prove that you are in control of your life. Every time you choose what is right, even once, you move closer to your strongest self. Leave a comment. I choose what is right, not what is easy. The awakening of the Stoic warrior. This is the moment where everything you have learned, every habit, every exercise, every principle begins to crystallize. The previous habits were never just routines. They were bricks you quietly laid to build the foundation of a new self. Now, when you look back, you realize you are no longer the old version of you. You have crossed the line between reacting and leading, between living by emotion and living by reason, between being dragged by life and directing your own path. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Peace comes when you stop arguing with what already is." By now, you have walked far enough to understand this. Peace is not when everything is easy. Peace is when you are no longer afraid of what you cannot control, when you can stand in the middle of chaos and still guard your inner calm. That is not magic. That is the result of many small acts of discipline you have chosen day after day. Look at your journey. You have learned to start your mornings with a small victory. You have learned to write down what you can control. You have learned to speak less and act more. You have learned to forgive yourself, to respect your body, to return to silence. Each of these steps seems small, but together they created a new person, a person who does not need praise because action is already the proof, a person who does not need to say, "I will change," because the change is visible in their habits. Stoics do not chase perfection. They seek awakening. They are not trying to become someone else. They are returning to their highest nature, reason, discipline, self-mastery. When you live awake, you do not need to control the world because you already control your response. When life tests you, you can smile, not because you enjoy pain, but because you know, "I am ready." Epictetus said that no one can hurt you without your consent. Now you understand this, not as theory, but as experience. When someone insults you, you no longer fall apart. When something unexpected happens, you no longer collapse. When loss comes, you no longer curse the world. You observe, you accept, you respond, not because you are numb, but because you are free from wild emotion, from fragile ego, from the noise around you. Science calls this resilience, the ability to recover and adapt. Stoics call it ataraxia, a deep inner tranquility. It does not appear in a single moment. It is built through hundreds of days, choosing right over easy, silence over complaint, action over delay. When you feel that steady strength inside, you have entered a new phase of life, the phase of mastery. Imagine yourself standing on the peak of a mountain after a long climb. Below you are rocky paths, tired mornings, nights of doubt, moments you felt useless, but you kept walking. You walked long enough to see that the true reward is not the peak, but the person you became on the way up. Stoics do not need applause. They only need to know they lived correctly. They do not need anyone to define their worth. Their worth is written in their daily choices. The same is true for you. You do not need to shout that you are strong. Just keep walking in quiet discipline, and eventually the world will see. Marcus Aurelius once asked himself, "If I can live just one day as a rational human being, is that not already a worthy life?" You have learned how to live that way. No obsession with flawlessness, no demand for instant results. Just one more day, live by principle, one more day of self-control, one more day of conscious action. Day by day, you are writing a life of strength and freedom. Stoics believe true power is not in money, status, or fame. It is in the ability to say no to what weakens the mind. It is in standing firm in the storm without losing yourself. It is in loving yourself through action, through discipline, respect, and gratitude. This is the moment you realize you no longer need to become someone else. You are already the person you were searching for, not because you are perfect, but because you are awake. You have returned to your real strength, the strength of a Stoic, who loves themselves through action, who is quiet but never weak, humble but never broken. Take a deep breath, feel your body, feel your mind, feel the calm you have built with your own hands. This is not an ending. This is the beginning of a new level of living, where you are no longer shaken by small things, where you act with purpose, where you walk with unshakable confidence. Leave a comment. I am the master of myself, and nothing can shake me. If you have come this far, it means you did not just watch a video, you completed a journey. These 60 minutes were not empty motivation. They were a ritual of awakening, discipline, and deep self-love. Now, as the music fades and this voice grows quiet, pause for a moment, breathe in, feel your heartbeat, feel your breath, feel the steady energy inside you. This is not the silence of an ending, it is the silence of someone who has found a direction. Marcus Aurelius said, "Do not talk about being stoic, live as one." Let that be your final reminder. Do not let these words stay as inspiration only. Turn them into action. Every habit, every principle, every teaching only has value when you practice it. You do not need to do everything at once. Start with one small act. Wake up earlier. Write what you can control. Stay silent when needed. Forgive when you must. Care for your body. Sit in silence. And each day, choose what is right. Stoics do not transform through sudden explosions of motivation. They transform through repetition, through small actions, through quiet mornings, through moments of self-control. They know that real strength is not in temporary emotion, but in steady consistency. If you are hearing these words now, you are ready for the path. Remember this: loving yourself is not spoiling yourself. Loving yourself means training yourself to become stronger, clearer, more disciplined. Loving yourself means no more running from who you are, no more constant comparison, no more hiding. Loving yourself is learning to stand firm in silence, even when the world is chaos. Loving yourself is looking in the mirror and seeing someone who is not perfect, but is moving forward every day and feeling proud of that. Epictetus taught, you cannot control what happens, but you can always control how you respond. If this is the only lesson you keep from this journey, it is enough to change your life. Because when you master your response, you master everything. You are no longer dragged by emotion. You are no longer terrified of failure. You are no longer chained to other people's approval. You become the center of your own life. Steady, calm, powerful. This is not a video to consume and forget. This is an invitation. An invitation into the journey of Stoic Rise, where each day you rise one step higher, where every small habit matters, where you live with a warrior spirit, quiet but relentless, humble but unbreakable. And let this be the opening chapter of a new life, a life of mastery, peace, and honest love for yourself. If what you heard today resonates with you, share this video with someone who needs the same reminder. Let us build a community of disciplined, awake, unshakable minds. And leave your comment not as a routine, but as a vow to yourself that you are ready to live differently, act differently, become who you know you can be. When you turn off the screen, do not let this energy disappear. Take it with you. Begin today with one clear action, no matter how small. Strength does not live in plans. It lives in movement. Do not wait for the perfect moment. The moment is now. Marcus Aurelius said, you could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. Let that sentence ring in your mind every morning. No more delay, no more regret, only action, discipline, and peace. Leave a comment. I am ready to live as a Stoic, awake, disciplined, and unshakable.